We once again extend a very warm welcome to all of you to the inaugural ceremony of the 20th edition of BioAsia and to this beautiful and vibrant city, Hyderabad. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, please join me in welcoming on stage our chief guest for today. May I please invite Sri KT Ramarao Garu, Honorable Minister for Industries and Commerce, Government
Honorable Minister, dignitaries on and off the DS, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and a very, very warm welcome to all of you to the 20th edition of BioAsia. India has proved to be an attractive life sciences destination in the world, a fundamental instrument in achieving phenomenal health outcomes. Telangana in specific hosts the most thriving life sciences industry in the country and also the region. Hyderabad, in its dominant position as a life sciences cluster, has set new benchmarks in creating a viable ecosystem for the industry to boom. We are proudly hosting the 20th edition of BioAsia in this city of Hyderabad. It has undoubtedly been an instrument of great magnitude in spurring discussions of global relevance and also collaborations of healthcare significance. BioAsia's emergence as one of the Asia's biggest life sciences events is a testimony to its impact. With the theme of Advancing for One, we are confident that the 20th edition is likely to contribute to a significant amount of collaboration among all the key stakeholders for development of the healthcare industry. Over the next 48 hours, the event will outline some of the spectacular global life sciences achievements clubbed with deliberations and pioneering ideas that could shape the future of industry. I once again welcome all of you to the phenomena that BioAsia is, and I wish everyone impressive outcomes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nagapan. Ladies and gentlemen, for all of us who've been with BioAsia, a name and face that BioAsia is also synonymous with is Dr. Shetty. He's one of the most respected leaders in the world who's always been kind enough to spare time and support activities of BioAsia, particularly in terms of formulating the program. I request him to address the gathering. Dr. Shetty, yes.
Honorable Minister and friends, to me it has been a terrific privilege to be associated with BioAsia in its incubation period over 10 years ago. And today I'm extremely proud to see it as a full player on the global stage. I have seen it address very powerful themes like disruptive innovation, digital health and access, and today, as the team has defined, advancing to one. BioAsia, as has been said earlier, provides a platform for scientists, for industry leaders, for public policy formulators, and the general public to develop a much more powerful and better healthcare for 8 billion patients across the globe. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shetty. One of our principal industry hosts is Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, and may I now invite Mr. Satish Reddy to share a few words with all of us.
So very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Minister KT Ramarao, Dr. Paul, Vinod Paul, Niti Aayog, distinguished members on the dais. On my behalf, warm welcome to all of you to the BioAsia. It's the 19th edition. Next year it will be 2 decades of BioAsia. All these years, it's been the flagship event from the government of Telangana. Minister KTR has been personally been spearheading this over the past few years. And it's really grown from strength to strength. It brings in a host, a galaxy, in fact, of top scientists from across the world, business leaders, policymakers, regulators, various government officials. And it really sets the stage in terms of what it should be for life sciences, as far as the country is concerned, also particularly the state. The state, as you know, offers a lot of, the opportunities for investment, a lot of strength it has grown, especially when it comes to life sciences, especially during COVID time. That's the time we could really display what we could do, especially coming in from vaccines, not only just vaccines, but even when it comes to pharmaceuticals. I think the country, as well as the state, has been in the forefront in terms of being able to rise up to the occasion. So to all the people who are attending the conference for the next couple of days, I wish you the very, very best. It will be a great set of deliberations, great outcomes all of us expect, and hope you have a great time in Hyderabad. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Reddy, and for so beautifully encapsulating the last 20 years and for your wishes. Moving ahead, ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted that Province of Flanders is our international region partner for the 20th edition of BioAsia, and we are joined by Mr. Jayant Nadikar, Trade and Investment Commissioner of Province of Florence. I request him to address the gathering. Can we please welcome him with a warm
Good morning and a warm greetings from the Flanders ecosystem. As you may know, Flanders is a vibrant and a dynamic, very active region in the nerve center of Europe, and we are proud to be part of the, let's say, BioAsia and its signature or the milestone event of 20th BioAsia as the international partner region, and we are proud of our association with the state of Telangana. As part of our activities, we are embarked on a long-term activity with the state of Telangana to build ecosystems to ecosystem activity. So as part of that, we will be here as the international partner region for 3 years. Flanders delegation is here with a very, very robust and profound delegation led by our Flanders Institute of Biotechnology, Managing Director Christine Durings, and we also have Dr. Jan Molders, who is the head of IP. We also have the Flanders Bio, and my colleague from the headquarters, Philip de Porter, and we have the support of the Consul General from our federal government. So we welcome all the delegates from Telangana to make use of this opportunity to interact with us, and then we are looking forward to our long-term cooperation. And before I conclude, Flanders Bio is also hosting a major event, Knowledge for Growth, undoubtedly the most sought-after bio-life sciences event in Europe, and we invite the Telangana delegation to visit in the last week of May and 1st of June. So I look forward to all your participation, and then we look forward to build the Flanders-Telangana Life Sciences Cooperation together. Once again, all the very best for the 20th edition of BioAsia. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nadigar. While province of Flanders is our international region partner, the United Kingdom is our country partner for this year, ladies and gentlemen. And may I invite Mr. Garrett Wyn Owen, who is the British High Commissioner to Telangana, to share a few words with all of us.
Good morning, everyone. Honourable Minister, friends and colleagues on the stage, friends and colleagues in the audience. The UK is really proud to be the country partner for this, the 20th edition of BioAsia. I don't have to tell anyone in this room the importance of international collaboration, the importance of the life science community, of the biotech community, of pharmaceutical companies, all working together to help tackle global challenges, to help tackle global health challenges. So it's great to see so many people in this audience, and I certainly hope that over the next 2 days we have some very useful, productive sessions and meetings to help what we all want to achieve, which is a better world and a better health for everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Owen. Delighted to have you here with us today, sir. Moving ahead, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to share with you that we are pleased to share that Sanofi has strengthened its presence in Hyderabad by setting up the Sanofi Global Medical Hub that will provide operation support worldwide. I'm going to request Honourable Minister to present a memento while I invite the team on stage. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Nakul Verma, Senior Director, Public Affairs. Can we invite Mr. Nakul Verma on stage, please? Thank you, Honourable Minister, for doing the honours. Ladies and gentlemen, another name that goes hand in hand with BioAsia is that of Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, who is actively involved in policy frameworks and brings along with him a rich experience of diversity and complexity for BioAsia. I request him to address the gathering.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, Mr. KT Ramarao, our guest of honor, Member Health, Niti Aayog, Dr. Vinod Paul, keynote speaker, CEO of Novartis Global, Dr. Vas Narasimhan, dignitaries on the stage, guests, invitees, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It's a matter of great honor to welcome all of you to the 20th edition of BioAsia. We have had record number of registrations for this edition, close to 2,000 delegates, and it is very evident, hall full of people, aisles overflowing. Nothing else can really gladden our hearts. Representatives from more than 50 countries are here, and as every time, it is a 3-day event packed with very informative sessions, panel discussions, keynotes, master classes, But amongst everything, what really personally excites me a lot is the startup showcase that we have started some years ago. We know that some of the most transformative and path-breaking technological advances are coming from the world of startups. And I do urge upon all the delegates to encourage all the startups who are showcasing here. There's of course a competition amongst them. The best 5 will be selected tomorrow by a jury. We also have a very rich exhibition in the expo area. And again, I would urge all the delegates to spare some time and visit what kind of cutting edge work is happening across the globe. We have always valued BioAsia not only for the platform which gives us, people in Telangana, in Hyderabad, the entire list of stakeholders, an opportunity to showcase what is the best that we have. It also helps us understand what are the current trends, what is the world looking up to, so that we also as a government decide our own priorities and our own approach for the future. Again, I'm very happy to share that many of the illustrious biotechnology and life sciences companies who are today operating out of Hyderabad, the very first introduction with many of them actually was made on this forum in BioAsia. And I do hope that we will continue to have mutually very rewarding and engaging discussions with all the delegates this time as well. I'm grateful to United Kingdom for becoming the partner country and the region of Flanders in Belgium for becoming the partner region. And I hope that the 3 days conference, the 20th landmark edition of BioAsia, gives enormous benefit to all of us. Thank you very much once again for coming to Hyderabad.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ranjan, for always supporting us and for your wishes. Dr. Samit Hirawat, sir, while the state of Telangana is delighted to welcome you, may we request you to share a few words on how you feel coming into the state. Can I request you to please share a few words, sir?
Well, thank you very much, and speaks very highly of the hospitality of Telangana. You may be missed, but you're not forgotten, so I'm glad to get a few minutes of your time to be able to speak to this great audience. It's a pleasure to be here today, and thank you, Honorable Minister, for giving us the opportunity and your hospitality over the last few days, and Shakti for your guidance and insights as we come to Hyderabad to initiate a site which is going to serve our global purpose in terms of bringing more medicines to more patients faster. There is obviously no dearth of talent in India. I grew up here, I trained here as a physician, I moved to the US, and I've learned a lot from a drug development perspective. We want to bring that perspective, just like many others have done. Vas, thanks to you too. We've learned from you as well. And we want to bring it over here to grow more, harness the talent, strengthen our presence from a global diversity perspective, look into how we can accelerate the development of new medicines so that we can help more patients around the world, harness the strength that this country provides in terms of innovative digital solutions as well, and take that forward. So for all of that, we're looking forward to continued collaboration, support, guidance, and insights from the state of Telangana as we look forward to initiating our site towards the latter part of this year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Samit Hirawat. Ladies and gentlemen, as a tradition, BioAsia brings out a knowledge paper in each edition, and the Thought Leadership Report prepared by EY is an attempt to capture the global and domestic trends in the industry. May I request our Honorable Minister to launch the Thought Leadership Report of BioAsia EY 2023, and I request other dignitaries on the dais to kindly join him for the same. We are joined today by Dr. V.K. Paul, who is a globally recognized medical scientist and a public health exponent. He is known for his contribution and service to the field of family health, ladies and gentlemen. At NITI, he leads the health, nutrition, and HRD verticals. He has played a pivotal role in the formulation of key initiatives such as Ayushman Bharat PMJ, Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Center Scheme, and Poshan Abhiyan. Can I please invite him onto the podium and request him to share a few words with all of us? Can we please welcome him with a warm round of applause?
Thank you. Namaste, good morning. Honorable Minister of Industries and Commerce, Government of Telangana, Shri KT Ramarao-ji, dignitaries on the dais, distinguished invitees from India and abroad, participants. I'm truly honored to be here at this stellar event, the 20th edition of BioAsia. As has been stated, this is our flagship life sciences event of our nation. I'm very honored to be here and bring to you, first and foremost, the greetings of the Government of India, best wishes from the Government of India, and I welcome you. I'll take this opportunity, first and foremost, to thank the life sciences community of India for the work they did during the COVID pandemic. Our vaccine and pharmaceutical industry rose to the occasion. Our science enterprise rose to the occasion to describe the virus, to prepare pathways for vaccine research and development, and to keep track of the pandemic. The industry gave us more than 2.2 billion doses that have been administered and more that India's vaccination program comprised of, the biggest vaccination program of the world. You gave us vaccines on all platforms, inactivated vaccine, adenovectoral, nanoparticle-based, protein subunit-based, the nasal vaccine. We were so proud that not only you quickly scaled up production of, say, Covishield vaccine, which is the AstraZeneca vaccine, but also indigenously developed the Covaxin end-to-end. You developed a DNA vaccine for the first time in the world, and you developed a thermostable mRNA vaccine. You adapted to create large capacity of producing protein subunit vaccine through BioE. You adapted to be able to produce Covax. You quickly responded to the need of developing a vaccine, the Sputnik Russian vaccine, and so on and so forth. I'm so very proud. You are our Corona warriors. On behalf of the nation, on behalf of the people of India and each citizen, I want to applaud you for your achievement, and guys, a standing ovation to our industry. Sir, together, as per the estimates published in the Lancet, the vaccine program of India over 1 year saved 3.4 million lives. 3.4 million lives. Sir, our vaccine industry supplied 258 million doses of vaccine to 101 countries through Vaccine Maitri, the bilateral program, and in addition, 292 million doses through COVAX system. Sir, our pharmaceutical industry ramped up production of remdesivir to 12.2 million doses per month in a matter of days. We are so proud, and you sent essential medicines to 150 countries. We are so proud. So it's a day of pride, sir, that we are here post-corona for this wonderful, wonderful event which takes us to future. On our part, the regulatory system responded by working very hard. Colleagues here are aware how late night meetings were being conducted for rolling reviews by very esteemed colleagues who constituted the scientific group. We multiplied our capacity to have testing. On 10 days in our nation, more than 10 million doses were administered in 24-hour spans. And we created a record of more than 25 million doses on a single day. We are very proud. I take this opportunity to thank the international community for standing by us in this endeavor, and we continue to depend on you together to develop solutions for not just for India, but for the world. The Honorable Prime Minister has always stated from his speeches and also in the statements in the UN General Assembly that India's life sciences enterprise, the pharmaceutical enterprise, the vaccine enterprise is not only for our country, but for the humanity. I like to state that the Government of India has moved forward with multiple policy initiatives to further expand the scope and the intensity and comprehensiveness of our enterprise in pharmaceutical and biomedical devices sector. You'll be hearing more about this. You are aware that we are looking at a new bill, the Drugs, Cosmetics and Medical Devices Bill. Bulk drug parks are being established, medical devices parks are being established, a productivity linked scheme has been announced and is already rolling out. And in this budget speech, the Honorable Finance Minister has launched and announced a scheme to support R&D in this area. Sir, in our esteemed capacity of G20 presidency, India has an opportunity and world has an opportunity to move on three important tracks in the health sector. First, health emergency preparedness. Two, to ensure availability of affordable, effective, quality medical countermeasures, namely vaccines, treatments, and diagnostics. And thirdly, for digital health for public good to achieve universal health coverage. We would like to work together to move on these tracks and more, but today we celebrate a great event in Hyderabad, the 20th BioAsia Life Sciences Congress, the event that will guide the government and guide other stakeholders, the path to be taken. Let's remember, one earth, we are one earth, one family, and we have one future. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Dr. Paul, for reiterating the fact that BioAsia is doing what it can to create a mark on the global platform when it comes to life sciences and healthcare. Ladies and gentlemen, as we speak today, Hyderabad is well on its way to transform itself from being called a pharma city to a well-integrated pharma manufacturing hub. The life sciences sector is working towards doubling its size from the current $50 billion to $100 billion in 5 years. And Genome Valley, which is India's first organized cluster for life sciences, is moving towards becoming the leading life sciences hub in Asia. And all this being possible under the vibrant government of Telangana, being spearheaded by our very own Minister, Shri KT Ramarao. Sir, we know BioAsia is very close to your heart. Can I please invite you to the podium to share a few words with all of us?
Few words, I have a long speech, so you'll have to put up with all of that. To all the remarkable guests here who have traveled from various parts of the world, including esteemed representatives from the fields of science, technology, industry leaders, media colleagues, and other distinguished individuals, I extend a grand welcome to BioAsia 2023 in Hyderabad, the life sciences capital of Asia. It is an incredible moment and an equally exciting opportunity for me to be addressing you all in person after a long gap of 2 years. I take pride and joy in reminding all of you that this is the 20th edition of BioAsia. I humbly acknowledge the growth of BioAsia, and I must say it has consistently played a crucial role in the development of life sciences industry in Telangana and India. This outstanding platform has consistently attracted a galaxy of healthcare, pharma, and life sciences leaders from more than 100 countries. Distinguished guests, I'm happy to note that this year's theme is Advancing for One, Shaping the Next Generation of Humanized Healthcare. The COVID-19 pandemic has proved the value of collaboration and its impact on people's well-being. When the world came together to overcome one of the most challenging healthcare scares for humanity. Hence the theme Advancing for One, to celebrate the spirit of collaboration and promoting human prosperity. The state of Telangana has been a front runner in identifying the importance of life sciences, pharmaceuticals, and of course, the development of holistic healthcare. With our vision to develop, promote, and propagate an enabling ecosystem, we are proud to state that Hyderabad is the only city in the country that has an ever-growing genome valley, an expanding medtech park, and an upcoming pharma city, which will be the world's largest pharma cluster. The state-of-the-art infrastructure, combined with progressive policies and proactive execution on the part of the government, has not only distinguished us as a progressive state, but also enhanced our share and contribution to positive health outcome nationally and globally. If you remember, we had set out a vision of doubling our ecosystem value to $100 billion by 2030. A lot of people felt it was too ambitious, but I'm pleased to announce today that the ecosystem value in Telangana, in Hyderabad, has already touched $80 billion only in 2022. This represents a phenomenal ecosystem value growth in Telangana at a mind-boggling 23% over the last few years compared to the national average of only 14%. Given the current momentum, I am confident that we will achieve our target of USD 100 billion by 2025 itself, 5 years ahead of schedule. I commend and thank all the stakeholders who have come together to make this happen. The growth is evident from the fact that we've been able to attract a slew of investments of more than $3 billion over the last 7 years into life sciences. During the same period, we have created a total employment of more than 4.5 lakh or 450,000 new jobs. Our ultimate aim is to make Telangana the knowledge capital of the world's life sciences industry. A key component of this growth in the life sciences sector is continuous innovation. We already serve more than 1,000 life sciences companies globally, including the top 10 pharmaceutical companies in their innovation journey. This is being done through the cutting-edge work being executed by research and development and technology partners like Aragen, Sai, Syngene, Deloitte, Accenture, Tech Mahindra, among many others. I'm delighted that 4 of the top 10 global innovator companies now have a direct presence in Hyderabad through their dedicated centers. These centers drive core research and development, digital and engineering activities, thereby contributing to bringing life-saving, cost-effective therapies and devices to patients worldwide. Today, we have established our stature as the world's preeminent life sciences destination, but I don't want us to stop here. One of my idols, Nelson Mandela, once said, "No matter where you are in life, there is more journey ahead." We have a unique opportunity to help reshape the future of the life sciences industry. We need to dream big. I envision, therefore, that by 2020, the value of the life sciences ecosystem in Telangana will reach $250 billion. But to achieve this, to accomplish this, there are several things that need to be in place. The 4 pillars that will help us achieve this audacious target, in my humble opinion. 1, complex manufacturing at scale. Telangana contributes to 40% of India's pharmaceutical production and is home to more than 1,000 life sciences companies, and we are growing every day. We are the only region in the world to have more than 200 US FDA-approved sites for pharmaceutical manufacturing, which produce both innovator and generic medicines. Our capability will be further strengthened with the launch of Hyderabad Pharma City, which is the world's largest and sustainable integrated pharma park. While we are continuing to build on our strengths in small molecules, we also have started to make giant leap towards advanced therapeutic modalities. Hyderabad has been leading biological production in the country, with its key players like Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, Biological E, Bharat Biotech, Shanta Biotech, Aurobindo, Hetero, Gland Pharma, and Virtuo Biotech. We are now establishing a biopharma hub, a B-Hub, which is a first-of-its-kind growth phase center and biopharma scale-up manufacturing facility in India. We are also making investments in the cell and gene therapy space, and we are working towards establishing an institute of curative medicine in Hyderabad with the aim to provide affordable development and commercialization of the new age curative therapies, particularly cell and gene therapy for disease pertinent to India. The second pillar would be research and development and innovation. Hyderabad is regarded as the epicenter for drug discovery and development services in Asia. The capital city of Telangana offers one of the best state-supported business ecosystems in the country with significant focus on life sciences. We have all the requisite elements of relatively low cost of doing business, more than 3 million square feet of multi-tenanted facilities in Genome Valley, abundant supply of skilled, semi-skilled think force, leading academic institutions and research centers. Thanks to such a fertile environment, Hyderabad has become home to some of the largest Indian and multinational pharmaceutical research service organizations, offering services ranging from medicinal chemistry, discovery biology, preclinical, clinical, drug development, and clinical trial product manufacturing. Today, almost every big pharma company and over 100 biotech companies use these CRO services. And it is safe to say that a significant percentage of current and future NCE approvals originate in Hyderabad. As you can see, we are the most preferred R&D destination today. The third pillar, building high-end cross-value chain global capability centers. Hyderabad is emerging as the most preferred location for life sciences focused global capability centers. Today, I'm delighted to welcome a leading company like BMS and Sanofi to the vibrant ecosystem of Hyderabad, which will now be joining the illustrious list of companies like Novartis, Bayer, Medtronic, Thermo Fisher, Schrödinger, etc. These GCCs, the Global Capability Centers, drive and support key R&D, analytics, innovation and engineering teams globally. Over the next 5 years, we will position Hyderabad as a high-end GCC destination for the world's leading life sciences companies. These efforts will help expand our knowledge capital beyond manufacturing to other parts of the life sciences value chain. Outstanding infrastructure, great standard of living, and access to world-class talent will help us deliver on this promise. The fourth pillar, convergence of healthcare and technology. I can't say this enough. Hyderabad is that city where biology meets technology, where life sciences meets data sciences. And technology, as we all know, has the ability, has the potential to work as a force multiplier, to change the way we think about healthcare, to change the way we think about life sciences and how it is going to evolve. The use of technology, and particularly the advent of artificial intelligence, will drive transformative changes in the way diseases are diagnosed and healthcare is delivered to patients across the world. If we combine both engineering and product talent we have in large technology companies in Hyderabad, along with the deep life sciences domain knowledge, the possibilities are endless. I hereby announce that we will work on a program to position Hyderabad as the health tech mecca of the world. Through various incubator programs and access to deep computing resources, we will actively support startups that drive the convergence of healthcare and technology. I'm confident that we will have a few global health tech unicorns that will emerge out of this program. These four pillars, combined with Hyderabad's excellent infrastructure, logistics connectivity, and world-class talent, make this city perhaps the most credible, stable, and secure ecosystems for global life sciences companies to work out of, especially in the post-COVID world of uncertainty. Case in point is how, during the COVID pandemic, this city's ecosystem came together to deliver an absolutely uninterrupted supply of COVID and non-COVID medicines and vaccines to the entire world. Our ultimate vision through building these four pillars is to play a significant part in advancing the quality of human lives worldwide. And we can only do it if we bring both the spirit of collaboration and industry together. Hence, the theme of BioAsia for 2023, Advancing for One, could not be more relevant. Dear guests, as I draw my address towards conclusion, I once again commend the participation and commitment of various life sciences and pharma stakeholders in this event. It has always been a privilege to be among you and participate in deliberations and discussions. Interactive and enlightening sessions are all directed and driven towards intensifying collaborations and working towards innovations in healthcare at scale. I'm sure this memorable 20th edition of BioAsia will open new opportunities for all of you, where over the next 3 days, you will find ample opportunities to hear from global thought leaders. I'm certain that this event will also give you scope to expand your networks and script new professional and personal growth stories. I thank my team and all those who have made this event possible and successful, particularly Shakti Nagappan and his entire team. I wish you all a great and memorable stay in Hyderabad, Telangana, and I wish you an extremely successful BioAsia. Jai Telangana, Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for spearheading the hallmarking of Hyderabad as a life sciences, the health tech mecca of the world. Thank you very much for that. Moving ahead, ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite Ms. Paridhi Gupta, VP Medical Devices Park, Government of Telangana, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good morning, everyone. Honorable Minister, respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, our most valued invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion and to such an honorable audience. As everyone today mentioned, this is a momentous day in our BioAsia's history as it marks the 20th anniversary year. I, on behalf of the BioAsia team, crew, event partners, let me call it a fraternity of life sciences and healthcare here together, and on my own behalf, extend a very hearty thanks to all the speakers, delegates, and exhibitors for gracing the 20th anniversary edition of BioAsia. I wish to express my gratitude to the Honorable Minister and the Government of Telangana leadership for providing constant encouragement and for patronage to BioAsia always. It is indeed a great honor for us to welcome and host in Hyderabad prominent speakers known for their great contributions to life sciences and healthcare. I'm sure all the participants will greatly benefit from your opinions in the sessions in the next 2 days. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for our country partner UK, international region partner Flanders, principal industry host Dr. Reddy's and Novartis, industry co-host Aragen, Hetero, Sai Life Sciences and Aurobindo Pharma. We would also like to thank our CEO Conclave sponsor RX Propellant and startup state sponsor Tech Mahindra and all the other sponsors. Further, we are grateful to our event partners TSIIC, Government of India departments, DPIIT, Ministry of MSME, Department of Pharma, Department of Science and Technology, and our state partners today. I also thank the media for giving an excellent pre-event coverage to the event. We hope the buzz continues in the next 2 days. Finally, I take this opportunity to place on record a hearty thanks to all our event associates for the perfect logistic support and enormous cooperation on organization of this event. I also thank my team and the entire team of colleagues and volunteers. Thank you. Lastly, we thank you all for being here today. We wish you a great conference and a great networking time in the next 2 days. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Paridhi. Ladies and gentlemen, we have not yet concluded with our inaugural ceremony. As part of the inaugural ceremony, we will be stepping into the keynote address by none other than Mr. Vas Narasimhan. But before that, may I request all our dignitaries to step forward for a group picture, and then we can hand over the stage to him and we can take our seat in the audience. I request you all to remain seated. We will be having the keynote address by Mr. Vas Narasimhan. Thank you to our dignitaries. I request you all to please be seated in the front row of the audience. And Dr. Narasimhan, give me 1 minute. I'd like to quickly share something about you. So someone who is always curious at how science-based progress is leading to longer and healthier lives and a better world, as the CEO of Novartis, his focus to unleash the power of the team to spur breakthrough innovation has always been in the center. A firm believer of artful and purposeful leadership, ladies and gentlemen, loved by so many of us, I request Dr. Vas Narasimhan, CEO Novartis, to deliver his keynote address.
Well, terrific. It's an honor to be here. I'd like to thank the organizers for kindly inviting me now for a third time. I'm glad that the last couple of speeches went well enough that I've been invited back. And I also, of course, want to thank the minister and the incredible team here in Hyderabad, which has helped us build an extraordinary center here of now over 9,000 people. It wouldn't have been possible without the minister's incredible support and all the years of support that that's created to allow us to create this incredible center here. What I'd like to do today is just walk you through 5 stories. I hope these 5 stories provide a source of inspiration. All I can ever hope to do in settings like this is perhaps inspire some of the people in this room to continue the incredible work of finding medicines for the world, making those medicines accessible, and continuing to improve the length and quality of life of people on this planet. The first story I'd like to tell is my story. Every time I come to Hyderabad, I feel a desire to tell my own story because it's such a meaningful moment for me to come back to India. My family originates from a small village deep in South India called Kolattur, my middle name. We emigrated over time to Vellore and eventually to Tirupati, where my grandfather was a school principal in Tirupati. My grandmother had a first-grade education in my father's side. They were extraordinarily determined to have their children have a full education and were able successfully to do that. And on my mother's side, my grandfather, who you see here, graduated from Delhi University. He worked in the pharmaceuticals industry in Pune. And then eventually, in the 1950s, got an internship to go to Sandoz in Basel, where I live today. Went back to India, and eventually my family went to the United States and opened up tremendous possibilities for me. You stand on the shoulders of giants, always. These are the giants whose shoulders I stand on. I only wonder what they would have accomplished if given the opportunities that I've been given. The second story is one I'd like to tell that I don't think we tell enough. And that's the extraordinary miracle it is that we find any medicines at all. This is a video of a deep-sea vent in the Pacific Ocean. Now, you wonder what is this video, why does it mean anything? This is likely where scientists believe 2 billion years ago life began on this planet. That through chemical reactions we saw the first cells, prokaryotic cells. Those prokaryotic cells made eukaryotic cells. Those eukaryotic cells, 1 billion or so years ago, were able to become multicellular organisms. And reflect for a moment how remarkable it is that every single cell in every animal and plant on this planet has exactly the same structure. All of us are filled with trillions of cells that have exactly the same structure. And those cells likely originated deep in the vents of the South Pacific. Then reflect for a moment what we do when we find incredible medicines. We unlock 2 billion years of evolution that began in these vents to find single molecules that can change the course of a human being's life. That's an extraordinary thing. I think it's worth reflecting on the fact that we create miracles when we create these medicines. And we've been so successful over the last 100 years, we sometimes forget it is a miracle we find any medicines at all. And the fact that we find thousands of them over the last 100 years to continue to improve life, and now we do it here in Hyderabad, worth reflecting on, worth taking a step back and feeling inspired by the incredible work that we do to unlock all of this science and all of this biology. The third story I want to tell is a story of Novartis And that Novartis story, I think, reflects the story of the pharmaceutical industry. So this is a little diagram of Novartis. We began in the 1700s in Basel in the chemicals industry, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. And we've had to constantly transform ourselves from a dye-making company all the way now, what our hope is today, to a focused medicines company. All through that journey, going through becoming a conglomerate, a very large healthcare conglomerate, and now given the pace of biomedical innovation, having to focus purely on keeping up with the technology to bring the next wave of medicines to patients. Now, when you look at that journey in a bit more detail, actually this is from our image library on the Novartis campus. These are images of the marketing materials that Novartis used in the 1800s, so SIBA, to market dyes in India. And some of these dyes actually were manufactured in India. So the relationships between the dye-making industry, the chemicals industry, Switzerland and India go back centuries. Now you look at some of the first laboratories where we made some of the most fundamental discoveries early on to discover that chemicals could impact human life. You can see how these serendipitous discoveries happened. Incredible to think that this was the kind of laboratories where we found the first medicines, by accident, chemicals that could change the course of certain diseases. And then you come to today, this is one of our manufacturing facilities, and we're in a whole new world where we're able to fundamentally understand the biology of a cell and reshape that cell. That's the story of our industry, and also I think what will happen as well in the story of the Indian pharmaceutical industry. We move from a world of chemistry to a world of biologics, and now to cutting-edge science that really transforms patients' lives. Now, this next part of the discussion, I wanted to tell some stories of the innovation that's happening today to transform some of the most important causes of disease and disability on the planet. I think we're in an extraordinary moment in history. After 60, 70 years of being about small molecules, 30, 40 years of being about small molecules and large molecules, over the last decade, we've opened up fundamental new areas of medical innovation and therapeutic innovation, cell and gene therapies, and some of the other things I'll talk about here. Now, cardiovascular disease, it's worth remembering, is the leading cause of death and disability on the planet. And it remains so and is growing, also in India. It is a massive challenge to tackle cardiovascular disease at scale. And with aging populations, the good news of us all being able to live much, much longer also means we have to face the challenge of cardiovascular disease. And what we believe, and I think more and more science is telling us, we need to think about new therapeutic modalities to tackle cardiovascular disease at scale. I'd like to share one of them with you, and this little video hopefully gives you a little sense of what's possible with the power of small interfering RNAs.
Search and delete in cells, it's a natural feature, and it has inspired a new kind of medicine that targets RNA. DNA holds the codes to build an organism. RNA is a copy of one section of code. Cells use RNA to construct proteins, the molecular machines that carry out a cell's work. But some proteins can cause disease. This new kind of medicine aims to prevent disease-driving proteins from being produced. It's like typing the code for a protein into the search and delete field of a Word document. Press enter and it deletes the instructions everywhere in the cell, potentially stopping the disease at its source.
So siRNA is this technology that really was pioneered in the 1980s by scientists at MIT who later would win the Nobel Prize. It was an understanding that RNA actually not only translates into proteins, but actually can modulate the expression of proteins, silence proteins. Now, it took 30 years of effort by many biotech companies, Novartis was involved as well, to bring siRNA therapies to life. But now we have them approved. We have one approved for cardiovascular disease. And what makes these therapies so powerful is that rather than using oral drugs that you have to take day in and day out, you can take medicines every 6 months and see dramatic reductions in things like cholesterol maybe in the future blood pressure or other metrics within cardiovascular disease. And you can imagine a world where you can give drugs very infrequently, perhaps sometime once a year. Could you take a vaccine-like approach to cardiovascular disease at scale? Could you tackle hypertension, hypercholesterolemia, and other causes of cardiovascular disease at massive scale? And could you do it at a very low cost? Because these siRNAs are small molecule chemically synthesized. And so the possibility then exists over time to tackle cardiovascular disease around the world at a scale we never thought possible because of these new pioneering technologies. Now, turning to cancer, and we're in a new area, an era, I think, of discovery in cancer. It's worth noting that over the last decades, we've made extraordinary gains on many of the key cancers, dropping mortality, increasing the odds of life. In some hematological diseases, we can even really induce sustained remissions. And that's been, I think, an extraordinary advance. Yet, still, cancer is the second largest leading cause of death and disability in this world. And now it's incumbent upon us to get the next wave of innovations forward. What we know is there are many new therapeutic areas that have come up. CAR T-cell therapy is certainly one we hear a lot about. Immuno-oncology, colleagues at BMS are one of the global leaders in immuno-oncology work. And other technologies such as targeted therapies also continue to open up new opportunities in cancer. The one I'd like to share with you today is a little bit of a new one that Novartis has been working on. It's an area called radioligand therapy. What you see here is a patient who's in a PET scanner, and on the scan you can actually see tumor lighting up, various elements of where the tumors are in the body. And the idea is, can you target radiation to exactly where the tumor is? So another brief video to hopefully outline that paradigm.
Nuclear medicine has advanced. It now harnesses the power of radioactive atoms and delivers it directly into cancer cells. This sophisticated medicine has two main components, a radioactive atom and a tumor-specific molecular puzzle piece. The medicine passes by most healthy cells. But when it encounters a matching cancer cell, the puzzle pieces snap together. Over time, the radioactive atoms cluster around cancer cells, no matter where they are hiding in the body, and collectively do damage to tumor cells. Their punch is powerful, but their reach is limited, so most of the damage stays inside the tumor. It's a different kind of nuclear power for cancer therapy.
So a simple, elegant concept. Can you find ligands that are targeted to certain tumors? Can you link that ligand to a radioactive particle? And can you, instead of giving whole body radiation, which is so difficult for patients to take, can you actually target the radiation to exactly where the cancer is? One example of many of the kinds of things our industry is now working on to open up new paradigms in cancer. I believe over the next decades we'll continue to make advances and hopefully over time get to a place where we can actually deliver cures. And that's of course our long-term goal as a sector and as an industry. And here is some of the canisters of radioligand therapy in one of our facilities. Now I'd like to turn to neurological disease, the third leading cause of death and disability in many parts of the world on the planet. And we know that neurodegenerative diseases, as we enter with aging populations, is going to be a massive challenge for society. Some of the most difficult areas of medicine to find new therapeutics are areas like Alzheimer's disease, Huntington's disease, ALS, Parkinson's. And while we've made progress, the progress has been challenging because understanding the real biology of the human mind, human brain, is a vexing problem. Now, our hope over time is we can again look at new technologies to make breakthroughs. And one of the ones I wanted to highlight here, no video in this case, is to show how can you use multiple technologies together to direct things to different parts of the brain. Here is an example. This is a structure where you see an antibody linked to one of those RNA therapeutics I mentioned earlier. And the idea is, can you direct that RNA to the specific tissue in the brain where you're trying to have a therapeutic impact? And the hope is this might open up new possibilities, whether it's in neurodegeneration, neuromuscular diseases, to tackle these diseases at scale. Again, an example of how technology is allowing for the next wave of breakthroughs in medicine. Now, I'd like to turn now to, I think, for India, a very important part of the story, which is the work of our company and the work of the industry to really tackle tropical diseases at scale. So this is a picture of artemisinin, which is a plant that is common in China, also can be found in India. It is the basis of coartem, a medicine that we created for malaria, and also the basis of a Nobel Prize in medicine. It's actually a fascinating story. Actually, the basis of understanding coartem comes from 2,200-year-old ancient Chinese medicine texts. The scientists who won the Nobel Prize spent decades studying these texts and found that there could be a source for understanding where we could find anti-malarial drugs. This plant led to a revolution. Around 2000, we made this drug. Other partners now, other generic companies as well, make artemisinin-based anti-malarials at scale. They create the possibility of actually curing malaria in 5 days. And for Novartis, we've now reached over 1 billion doses of coartem provided to patients around the world at cost, at no profit. And when you think about that, also 400 million children have now been reached by that effort. I think it shows how when we apply technology, innovation to problems like malaria, and then come up with access paradigms, we can have tremendous impact on public health. It's not a story that's well told, but the reason now malaria can even be thought of as being globally eliminated is because we've been able to find these therapeutics. We're working on the next wave of therapeutics. We're doing those clinical trials on malaria in India right now. Alongside that, the work on leprosy is, I think, another great example of the power of when industry can work with communities to make a big difference. This is an example of one of the leprosy programs we run in India. Novartis donates the global supply of leprosy drugs for the world for free. And our challenge, though, has been being able to identify patients with leprosy and get them the medicines that they need. This is one example of many that we have where we are now re-energizing our efforts to really help India completely tackle leprosy. It's one of the few places in the world where we still have a prevalence of leprosy that is untreated. The drugs work extremely well. We just have to identify the patients and get the patients the medicines that they need. And then the third example I wanted to share is sickle cell disease. I was surprised to learn that India has the largest population, one of the largest populations in a country, the largest population of sickle cell disease in the world. Now, sickle cell disease is a disease that the industry has generally not really worked on. And until recently, there wasn't many new medicines. And then in the last 5 years, multiple new medicines have come forward. But what we learned in that journey was the basics aren't often in place. Children are not identified early that they have sickle cell disease. They're not getting the basic therapies such as hydroxyurea or penicillin-based therapies. And the opportunity exists to do newborn screening, early screening, and get patients the medicines that they need. So that's what we're endeavoring to do now in partnership with various NGOs in India on sickle cell disease. Can we get to that? First, the basics in place. We do it as well in Africa with 5 newborn screening programs in African countries. And then as the innovation comes, get that innovation in an accessible, affordable way to patients who need it in sickle cell disease in India and around the world. The last part of the innovation part of the story, I think we wouldn't be able to have this meeting without talking about the power of data science and AI and how it's going to transform many elements of drug discovery. Now, I think first it's important to note, given all of the complexity I shared with you, billions of years, unfortunately we don't have the data to give the AI algorithm to really solve these problems. I really think of it as augmenting the human mind. It's not going to replace the human mind. We need humans to structure these problems, think critically about these problems, and we need the technology to enable those humans to work more efficiently, more effectively. And that's what we hope to do. This is one of our AI centers in Basel where we predict all of the clinical trials in Novartis in real time, trying to predict the enrollment, trying to predict how the quality and overall study conduct is happening. We have other examples as well, as is happening now at scale across the industry. And I think it'll be really important to see now how we can use generative AI technologies in an appropriate way to speed up drug development and drug R&D. And another, I think, incredible example of how AI is transforming how medicine is being developed is the work of AlphaFold, where in a series of papers, they've elucidated that they can predict how proteins fold. This has been a vexing challenge because usually you have to do months of experimentation when you have an amino acid sequence to know how a protein folds. Now scientists for free can go to AlphaFold, get the protein structure, and unlock whole new areas of biology or understand drug targets and speed up the drug delivery process. So AI is only going to enable the other areas that I talked about, but always remember, it's got to be AI with a human. And that's what really, I think, creates the magic of getting to the next wave of discoveries. Now, all of the things I told you really depend on people. I think one of the things we don't talk about enough is that our industry, with all of the technology and all of the advancements we have, is a people industry. I was asked yesterday in Novartis Hyderabad in the town hall, what is the greatest asset of Novartis? What is the greatest strength of Novartis? It's our people. And it's only with people working together in extraordinary ways, in good cultures that really enable knowledge-based work to happen. We call it an inspired, curious, and unbossed culture at Novartis. Do things really happen? I just wanted to share a short video, just in the last 9 months, the faces that I get to see who work on these problems around the world. Faster than anywhere else because the talent in this country is second to none. And it's a people, the reason we come at such scale is the talent of the people. So I think the invitation to all of the leaders in this room is to keep investing in Hyderabad, keep investing in India, keep investing in the talent. I think we'll continue to find maybe the next CEOs, people like me, in these rooms that we all get to work with. So I want to thank the organizers again for the opportunity to come here and speak. It's always a great honor, a great pleasure. I am inspired by everything I see here. Every time I come back, I only see further and further progress. We as a company, I as a leader, I'm only committed to the journey that we continue to be on here in this country and in the region and in Hyderabad. So thank you all very, very much.
Dr. Narasimhan, thank you, sir. Please stay back for a second. Can I request the Honorable Minister to please felicitate Dr. Narasimhan, a small token of our appreciation and gratitude, and some very, very key takeaways: the significant role of technology and innovation in health, how healthcare is on the major helm of transformation. At the epicenter, of course, there are people. Thank you, Honourable Minister. And Dr. Narasimhan, we let you go with one request, 1 year in advance, that we intend and we hope and request to see you in BioAsia 2024 as well. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Please join us in the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated. We are all set for our first panel discussion. Please allow us just about 5 moments to set the stage for the same, but please remain seated. Our first panel discussion of the day, operationalizing the One Health approach, nexus of science, indigenous knowledge policy, will begin in about 5 minutes. Please remain seated. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall begin our first panel discussion of the day, operationalizing the One Health approach. In about 5 minutes, we request you all to please remain seated.